Okay, we are live. You too. Hi. Um, this is sort of like a late night stream, and I think I haven't found the right time or format to stream. So but what I'm going to do is basically just come on here and um try and generate ideas, you know, and some of these ideas are converted into writing, and then others are just ideas. One thing I try to do is when I generate ideas, I get them, I convert them into a transcript, and then I can write about them, I can do different things about them. Yeah, the first thing I would like to talk about is I would say I would say removing yourself from tasks. And what I mean is, um, if you have a big goal, what happens is it is going to take more effort than you realize, and what is going to happen next is, okay, well, I have a very massive goal, or a very massive vision. For me to achieve this, it's going to take more effort than I think. And um so what you have to do is, you might decide, well, I need people around me, I need a team. And then if you have a team, what comes next is, well, you have to sort of figure out a way to remove yourself and to get out of the way as much as you can. And the reason you do this is because when you get out of the way, you allow others to you allow other people to showcase their strengths, and that's the goal. Like, it's not about you, it's about who you enable, who you empower. And that is one thing you don't realize when you're building a business. It's like, well, um how do you empower other people? And it's not just a business, it's any endeavor you take on. There's going to be there's going to be we can talk about, like, let's say friendships, right? And the less you make it about you, the better the friendship gets. Like, um it is never it is never about it is always about selflessness, if I might say. um, what you have what you have to sort of understand is the more you make it about other people, the more it becomes about you. And that's the crazy part. It's like, well, yeah. Um, you have to remove the self in whatever you're trying to do, whether it's business, whether it's friendships. You've got to remove yourself. You get to remove yourself, and then maybe that's when it starts working. Because if you make it all about you, then. But I also think there's a balance. There's a balance because if it's too about everyone else and not about you, then so there have to be a balance, and the balance is, well, you are the one with the vision, the one with the goal, and you probably have an idea of what you want to achieve, right? So, um, removing yourself allows people to drive and get to a point, but then you still have to be around to sort of guide. You sort of have to be around, and this is probably not talked about enough, of how much involved and not involved, and trying to find the balance you have to be in everything that you do, whether it's friendship, whether it's family, whether it's, love life, whether it's everything. Like, you know you have to be there and not be there. If that makes sense. It's Balance is very important. um Balance is really, really important. And um yeah, balance is very, very important. um we could talk about balance. I think balance, an easy way to think about balance is like when you're riding a bicycle, right? Like you're trying to find balance so that you can ride the bicycle, but it ain't it's it's needed in everyday life, right? Like in everyday life you need balance. In everyday life you're going to need balance. This applies to, let's say, when you're trying to balance your school and your school and maybe your relationship, and you're trying to balance you trying to balance maybe family and a job, you're trying to balance business and a job, you're trying to balance, you're trying to navigate multiple careers. Like, balance is very important, and then finding balance is I think it comes down to priority. Like, well, if I'm trying to find balance, what is it that should be the main priority, you know? And then understanding that priority shifts, and depending on what season you're in, your priorities are going to keep changing, you know? Life requires people to have balance, and um yeah. I've taken a few notes here. I want to talk about some technical stuff, but I don't really think I should talk about technical stuff on here. I would like to come on here and just yap for a few hours and get some clips that I can post on social media, and then yeah, that's basically it. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Um, balance is tricky because sometimes you're going to be unbalanced, you know? Sometimes you're going to be unbalanced, and that is the crazy thing about life. And that's one thing I've noticed is like, well, yep. Like, if you go out and get shit faced, and the next day you have to go to work, like let's say you go out on a Wednesday and then you're out till like, yeah, so that is different, because now you know your business is going to take a toll, or your job is going to take a toll, because you're not at your 100%. But that is chosen imbalance. There's also the imbalance that life forces on you, right? It's like, well, not everything is going to go your way, right? So um you're going to go to work some days and there's going to be traffic, and you're going to be pissed, you're going to cuss somebody, and you're going to forget to call your parents. There's like, that's called, but I guess that's not really like, that is not really, I think what you would say is like imbalance forced upon you is like you have expectations, and they are not being met because of circumstances that you do not have control over. So that might be like, let's say there's um a tsunami, or yeah, that's basically like trying to that's how you try and find balance. And it's, yeah, it's also accepting that on some days, yeah, there's days you're not going to be balanced. But I guess if you want to persevere, like if you want to see things through, if you want to um come 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 from the come like if you want to, I don't know, what I'm trying to say is that imbalance shouldn't be, if you are really like focused, imbalance shouldn't be a problem, you know. You just know that there's going to be those days, but then you're still going to show up. Yep. I wanted to talk about um, automation, but I don't know if um, I'm ready to talk about technical stuff or yeah. I would like to talk about like one problem that I have seen, and it's unemployment. You know, I see a lot of people who do not have jobs, and I have one word for you: you should be creating your own job. You know, I don't think you should wait for anybody to give you a job. That's just the honest truth. You know, because you're going to waste a lot of time. You're going to waste a lot of time, and modern day tools allow you to build something from nothing. It's even become easier, you know. So don't don't I mean, it depends. I don't know what your life circumstances are, but don't I don't think you should waste time chasing a job and, you know, chasing recruiters and all that. But I'm talking in the context of um, if you do not have, like, if you see that it's giving you a hard time, don't spend too much time on it. Like, just do other things. Just do other things. If you like, if you can code, that's way better. Like, if you can code, um, you should build some apps where you can come and join my community. I'm going to share it in the future here on YouTube. You've got to sort of document your journey and your downs and ups, and that is called marketing. that do not, unless, well, everything is you cannot say that everyone shouldn't apply for jobs. That's wrong. There's people who need jobs. There's people who need to go through those trials of having a job and then seeing if they actually like it. And then there's people who are entrepreneur driven. Yeah, so there's both kinds of people. And me is a lot of people learn on the job, so you can't, like, they don't really know what to do, and until they get a job, and then they try, and they act I mean, they know what to do after they get a job. Like, that's just the truth, that's just the way the word is. And some people have uh, connections that they can get really really good jobs. I'm talking about like Fortune 500, and so if that's you, I mean, you can get a job, you can go all the way to the top. That is if that's what you want. But then, personally, I think you can create, or maybe I am biased. Yeah, maybe I'm biased, but yeah, um, I think creating is very, very interesting. I think you can create and you can change your life just by creating something, and this is not talked about enough. And for you to create, you need to find something you connected to so much that every distraction sort of shuts down. Like, you can't hear anything else but the voice of create me. I need to exist. You know, that is what needs to happen for you to bring something to life. And then you have to, there's like where what you're trying to create is at, and then there's where you are at, and then in between there's like the skills, there's the ups, the downs, there's quite a few things you have, a few trials you have to go through before you actually reach that stage of, it is ready, it is ready. But then it depends, like, everything has is on a spectrum. I think that's the word I was looking for. Everything is on a spectrum. Some people can vibe code, or some people can create something overnight and put it out there, and then for others, it takes time. You know, I'm guessing the reason it takes time is because of the standard, or it's because of the standard you're setting for yourself. You are not going to release a new iPhone within a week or overnight. It's impossible. So it comes down to standard as well. But you can build a to-do list app and ship it overnight. You can build the recipe app and ship it overnight. Some people are lucky to be able to, move fast, iterate fast, but then other people have to, wait and think through steps and take their time and build something. And there's no right or wrong way to build or to create. I think there's just a drive, like I want to create something, I want to see it exist in the world. Creating is very, very interesting. Um, you can create and change your life. That's what I mean by interesting. And a lot of people never get there. Um, a lot of people do not, unfortunately, like this is what you see on social media, but some people have conventional paths they know they should go through. Like if you go everywhere, whether it's in Asia, in Europe, in America, like there's the majority, what you see on the internet is only like top 5%. I'm being generous, you know, that is a small percentage. That is a very, very small percentage. People who understand the importance of creating and bringing ideas to life, they're very few. Somebody who creates or creating in general is about communicating. It is about it's about communicating. It's about communicating value and trying to put it in the word, that is what you're trying to do. It's like, well, it's like, um this should exist, and I am willing to spend countless hours on it so that it can exist. It is what happens with the book, it is what happens with a song. It is simply like, well, I'm going to spend every ounce of energy I have on this so that it can exist, because I wholeheartedly believe that it is going to change somebody's life out there once it goes out, and then boom, release it. Changing somebody's life is not going to be like, well, it is not going to be, it's just going to be impact. But what I was going to say was, if you were trying to build something and put it out there, your goal should be impact. Which begs the question, well, what do I create, and when does profit come in? You're not a charity, so you obviously have to profit in some way, right? Yeah. Anyway, I think that's what I had for today. This was kind of a late night live stream, and yeah, I'm going to keep doing these live streams. Mm, I just have to keep getting in the groove and recording more, and yeah, I hope it can benefit you in some way, and yeah, this is something I really enjoy doing. Um, and till last time, stay safe. Cheers.